In quest of knowledge, a boy leaves home, similar to the Lord Gautam Buddha himself. Siddhartha is not the story of Lord Gautam Buddha, but an outstanding piece of fiction which ignites many thinkers, philosophers, writers, readers, and commoners to know the depths of life. It is an inspirational writing in which contradictions exist with the Buddhist thoughts to attain Buddhism. Perplexed in the style of Hermann Hesse, whose Stephen Wolf can mesmerize anyone, the Siddharth is listed by most of the scholars as a must-read. I think it should be in our bookshelves to repeat when we feel down and be moved to the higher spirit one or other times in our lives.
In the shade of the house, in the sunshine of the river bank near the boat, in the shade of the saltwood forest, in the shade of the fig tree is where Siddhartha grew up. The handsome son of the Brahmin, when Siddhartha woke up, the pale river simmered through the door of the hut, and in the forest a dark call of an owl resounded deeply and pleasantly. When the day began, Siddhartha asked his host, the ferryman, to get him across the river. The ferryman got him across the river on his bamboo raft. "This is a beautiful river," he said to his companion. "Much can be learned from a river. Ask the river about it, my friend. Hear it laugh about it." At sunrise, they saw with astonishment what a large crowd of believers and curious people had spent the night here. On all paths of the marvelous grove, monks walked in yellow robes. Under the trees, they sat here and there, in deep contemplation or in a conversation about spiritual matters. The shady gardens looked like a city full of people dustling like bees. The Buddha himself, the enlightened one, was also in the habit of taking this walk to bathe in the morning. A goal stood before Siddhartha, a single goal: to become empty, empty of thirst, empty of wishing, empty of dreams, empty of joy and sorrow, dead to himself, not to be a self anymore, to find tranquility with an emptied heart. And the two samanas recognized him solely by the perfection of his calm, by the quietness of his appearance, in which there was no searching, no desire, no imitation, no effort to be seen, only light and peace. All the way, Siddhartha also remembered everything he had experienced in the garden Jetavana, the teaching he had heard there, the divine Buddha, the farewell from Govinda, the conversation with the Exalted One. Again he remembered his own words. He had spoken to the Exalted One, every word, and with astonishment he became aware of the fact that there he had said things which he had not really known yet at this time. Learned knowledge was fattened on the other hand. Both the thoughts as well as the senses were petty things. The ultimate meaning was hidden behind both of them. Both had to be listened to, both had to be played with, both neither had to be scorned nor overestimated. A voice in his own heart which had commanded him to seek rest under this tree, and he had neither preferred self-castigation, offerings, ablutions, nor prayer, neither food nor drink, neither sleep nor dream. He had obeyed the voice. In this moment he had to think of his dream again. He bent slightly down to the woman and kissed with his lips the brown nipple of her breast. Looking up, he saw her face smiling, full of lust, and her eyes with contracted pupils begging with a desire. "And could you in any way protect your son from samsara?" "My dear, have you entirely forgotten that story? That story containing so many lessons? That story about Siddhartha, a Brahmin's son, which you once told me here on this very spot. Who has kept the samana Siddhartha safe from samsara, from sin, from greed, from foolishness? Were his father's religious devotion, his teacher's warnings, his own knowledge, his own search able to keep him safe? Which father, which teacher had been able to protect him from living his life for himself, from swelling himself with life, from burdening himself with guilt, from drinking the bitter drink for himself, from finding his path for himself? Would you think, my dear, anybody might perhaps be spared from taking this path? That perhaps your little son would be spared because you love him, because you would like to keep him from suffering and pain and disappointment. But even if you would die 10 times for him, you would not be able to take the slightest part of his destiny upon yourself." Siddhartha suddenly had to think of a line which Kamala a long time ago in the days of their youth had once said to him: "You cannot love." But now Since his son was here, now he, Siddhartha, had also become completely a childlike person.